It gets a little later. All right, welcome everybody to Wednesday Night Yin. We're gonna get started here, right? At least, if you're watching me at home, we're gonna get started. None of them are already. Maybe I need to turn the light on. It's so dark. I'm trying to figure it out. But you guys are gonna start on your back, right? Most of you are already there. So I'm gonna come there if you're ready. Make it a little bit brighter. Well, I'll give it a moment. I don't know what any of that is. All right. Well, we're just gonna go with this for now. You're gonna take your first few moments. Just get your focus to your breath. It's yin tonight, yay.
Yay.
So you don't have to control your breath so much. That's how I want people to be, right? I love yin. You don't have to control your breath so much, but you do need to be aware of your breath, otherwise, right? You're not aware of your breath, at least. Yin's not going to do anything for you. So let that focus come to your breath. Start to notice it, start to observe it, start to catalog it. Just let it take over. Let it push all your other distractions to the background. So you can be here, fully focused on your mat, your practice. So you can be fully present to your mat, your practice. That's better, right? Oh, now we're cooking. That's what I need. Hold on, let me do that again. There, that's much better. Now you can actually see me. Let yourself relax here. Let yourself surrender here. That's a word we use a lot in yin. You surrender to the pose. Surrender to your breath. Surrender to the sensation. Whatever sensations come. All right, now when we're ready to start moving here, right, you're still on your back. Let your left leg extend all the way. I know you can't see my left foot in the screen right now. My left heel is laying on the ground, and I'm just taking my right knee. I'm gonna hug it into my chest. So you're hugging that right knee in. Maybe aim it a little bit towards your right armpit. Think about pressing your left thigh down to the mat so that left hip flexor engaged a little bit too. And as you pull the right knee towards the right armpit, you're engaging that right hip flexor, letting it start to open and release. You should be feeling some sensations here. I was talking about before, mild ones. But you should feel something, and that's okay, right? We're not here to fall asleep, although I know most of you probably want to, especially at this time of day, right? We're here to focus on our body. So later on when you do go to sleep tonight, sleep comes to you just nice and easily. And when you're ready here, just take that right leg. You're going to kick it straight up to the sky. And now you're going to flex your right foot. So your toes are going back towards your face. Now you can grab somewhere around that right leg. Maybe it's high on your right leg near your hips. Maybe it's more on your middle thigh, or maybe it's at your knee or your calf. If you're really flexible, maybe you can grab your ankle or your foot, right? But that's not necessary here. Keep your head and shoulders relaxed down, right? So we're not yanking it. We're not trying to get into the stretch as deep as we possibly can right now, right? You're just going to let your body open at its own pace. So really push your heel up towards the sky, like I said, keeping those toes coming towards your face. Keep pushing that left thigh bone down towards the mat. Take 2 more breaths right here. And now from here, you're going to keep this right leg up for this moment, right? Bend now in to your left knee and just place your left foot on the ground, right? So now your left knee's up to the sky. And then you're just going to take your right leg, release it, and just put your right knee right over the left, right? Your knees are touching each other, your right leg's closer to your body, your right foot's just kind of dangling there, that's okay, right? Now you're going to pick your left foot up off the ground and draw both legs towards your chest, right? Now if you can, take both hands and just kind of wrap them around your left kneecap, pull everything in a little closer. If that's not going to work, maybe your hands are on either shin or ankle, right? Or they're around your right knee. But you're trying to pull your legs in a little bit closer, right? Starting to get some sensation going in the hips. Okay, keep your head and shoulders relaxed down. You did enough of the yang here, pulling the knees in. You don't need to make it more by forcing your head and shoulders up off the mat. So you got 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready here, you're going to release that left knee. Now take your arms out long to a T position. Just kind of use that right leg. Guide your left knee over to the right side of your body. So both knees are falling over to the right. It's in a twisted root, right? Because you still got your knees stacked on top of each other. Look over your right shoulder. Doesn't matter if your knees don't come to the ground, right? If this is absolutely uncomfortable to you, you can always take that right knee and tuck it under, come into that regular right supine twist. But if you can't, keep your knees crossed. Get a little extra on the left side. Keep your shoulders anchored. Look over your left shoulder. Here you're going to pull those knees back up to center. Now you should pull these knees back up to center here, right? Take your right foot and just step it down. So now you've got both feet on the ground, both knees up to the sky. We're going to switch it out here. You're just going to let your right leg slide out long with your right heel on the ground. And then take that left knee, bring it into your chest. Wrap your hands around that left shin. Hug that left knee in. Just angle it slightly toward your left armpit. Got 4 more breaths here. Remember, you still want to press that right thigh down to the ground, that right thigh bone. So you're still opening your right hip flexor a little bit too, while we're focusing on the left side. And then from here, just take your left leg, kick it all the way up to the sky. Take your hands, wrap them around behind your left thigh. Just pull that left leg in a little bit towards you. And your hands can be low on your left thigh. It can be all the way up towards your left ankle or your left foot, right? Don't strain, right? You have to pull yourself up, let everything relax down. Just gently wrap those hands somewhere around your left leg. You should pull it toward you. Keep that left foot flexed, heel going towards the ceiling. So pressing that right thigh down towards the mat. That's going to combine to give you a nice deep stretch through the meat of your left hamstring. That's what we need. So we need the stretch, especially if you are somebody who does a lot of yoga, a lot of running, a lot of biking, a lot of any kind of working out. Hamstrings get tight because we engage them in almost everything that we do. So no matter what kind of workouts you do, most often, let those hamstrings open back up. Even if your biggest workout is sitting at a computer all day, and I know that's how it is for some people, right? But even when you're sitting in a chair, your hamstrings are still engaging. You still need to do this once in a while to keep your full range of motion. Take about 3 more breaths here. And then you're just going to bend into that right knee now. Put your right foot on the ground. Release that left leg, and now you're just gonna cross that left knee over the right leg, your left foot dangle. And so you're gonna crisscross legs with your left leg closer to your body. And you're gonna pick your right foot up off the mat, start to draw those knees in towards your chest. And again, if you can, wrap your hands around your right knee and just pull everything in. Right? If that's not gonna work, be around your left knee. You can just have your hands on your ankles or your calves, pulling them in. You can feel this in your hips a little bit. I'm feeling a lot in my left hip, more than I was feeling on the right, obviously. Right? And that's what happens most of the time when we do these hip stretches, right? You're non-dominant hip, which is what my left is for me. Feel it a little bit more, a little faster. It's okay. Do these stretches, whatever you're feeling. You don't have to do anything about what you're feeling unless you're feeling pain, in which case you should stop, right? But it's just for you to be aware. What side of your body is tighter than the other, right? What side's stronger, what side's weaker. You should know this about your body. So that when out in the real world, you're faced with some task, some physical task that you've got to do. You know what your strengths and weaknesses are. Four more breaths here. And then you're going to release your legs. Now, drop your right foot back down to the ground. And then now you're just going to take your arms out to a T. Use that left leg to kind of guide that right knee over. And let your knees fall towards the left side of your body. And they're probably not going to hit the ground. Mine certainly aren't, right? But I'm going to take my chin, my gaze over the right shoulder. Just let those hips open up a little bit more. Remember, if this feels like too much, your option is always just to take that left knee, tuck it underneath the right. So you're in a basic supine twist. But if it feels okay, stay in the twisted root. Stay there. Four more breaths here. Now bring your knees back up to center. And you're going to take that left foot off, set it down, right? So now we're here in this constructive rest pose. Just have both knees into your chest. Right? You can wrap your hands around your knees or just grab on to your same kneecap. Just rock from side to side here, kind of like a heavy baby, without moving your knees away from your chest. Give yourself that little spinal massage. And then when you're ready, just let your knees fall all the way over to one side or the other, right? And then you're gonna push yourself up into tabletop. So tabletop is hands and knees pose. You're gonna bring your shoulders right over your wrists and your hips right over your knees. Right, we're gonna do a little thread the needle here to get ready for our next big sequence, right? You're gonna take your right hand up to the sky. So you're reaching up towards the sky. Your chest opens towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, dive those right fingertips underneath your left armpit. Let your right shoulder come all the way down to the ground. Let the right side of your head come down to the ground. So you're just reaching those right fingertips as far as you can towards the left side of the room. Your hips stay mostly over your knees. If they're pushed a little bit back, that's okay, right? But they don't need to be down. Now, your left hand can either reach forward towards the front of the room, if that feels good, right? Or it can wrap around behind your back, reach towards your right inner thigh. Just open up the chest. You're opening up the chest. If you reach that left hand forward, you're opening up the left shoulder a little bit if you wrap it around behind your back. If you want to step out with that left foot, you can. Step that left foot out. Just drop it down, either so that your toes are pointed right towards the front of the room. Up so you can't see there. I'd be like this, right? Here's with my foot down, my toes are pointed towards the front of the room. My fingertips are reaching towards my foot. Or I can turn my foot so my heel lifts, and now my fingertips are reaching towards my toes. Right? So those are all the different options. If you don't want to mess with your knee at all, you just keep it in. Right? Find where this feels good to you. I'm going to take about 3 more breaths here. And then from there, right, if you step that left foot out, step back in, bring your left hand back to your face from wherever it was, right? And then use that left hand, push through it, and open up. Lift the right hand back up to the sky. Right? Then drop it all the way down. Come back into your tabletop. All right, now let's try that going the other way. All right, take your left hand, lift it up to the sky, open your chest towards the ball wall, and then take those left fingertips, dive them underneath your right armpit, let your left shoulder come all the way down. Let the left side of your head come down so your left fingertips are reaching to the right side of the room. Then add on what you want to add on. Maybe your right hand reaches forward. Maybe it wraps around behind your back, reaching towards your left inner thigh. If you want to add on with that right foot, you can. I know you can't see my toes on here, but same thing, right? You can have that whole foot flat with your toes pointed towards the top of your mat, or you can turn your foot so that your right toes are pointed towards your left fingertips and your heels lifted. You find whatever feels good to you here. Ready here, you're gonna unwind that right arm, right wherever it is, bring it back by your face. You step that right foot out, step it back in, push away from the mat with that right hand. Open your left arm back up, and then drop back down into tabletop. All right, take a couple cat-cows here in tabletop, right? Just to get that spine moving. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop. That's cow. And then exhale. Tuck your chin to your chest, round out your back, hollow your armpits. That's cat. Right now, we don't have to control our breath here, but you are finding the rhythm of it so that you can match your movements to it here just for this little time. You'll get that synovial fluid flowing through your spine so everything else seems a little easier, a little more fluid. We're going to do a lot of work with our spine here coming down to the belly in a second. So take a few more rounds just like this. And then eventually, we're going to bring it back to our neutral tabletop. Now, from your neutral tabletop here, right, you're going to bring it back, move your knees back, let your belly come down to the mat. So I first just want you to lay on your belly, cross your arms in front of you, so your left fingertips are pointed over to the right, and you can stack that right arm on top or underneath your left arm, whatever's more comfortable, but your right fingertips are pointed to the left, and let your head just rest down on your forearms. More breaths just right here. Now, when you're ready here, right, I want you to take your arms out super wide, right? And then just let's start with the right ear coming to the ground. So you're looking over to the left. And so you're taking your arms out wide, your palms are face down. We're just starting to slowly open up the chest a little bit. If you need a blanket or something underneath your head, you can do that. Or if it feels okay, just lay flat. Lay flat, we won't be here as long. About 5 or 6 more breaths. And then from here, just turn your head over. So now your left ear is laying on the mat and you're looking to the right. All right, now from here, you're gonna take your arms, first take your chin, right, point it towards the front of the room. Sweep both your arms out in front of you. You can prop yourself up a little bit, lift your head up, right? What you wanna do is press into your palms a little bit and then draw that right palm back towards you so it's by your chest, right? Turn your right fingertips towards the left side of the room. Slide your left arm underneath, your right arm underneath your left armpit, right? So it's like a thread the needle on our belly. So we're reaching those right fingertips towards the left side of the room. But then you're gonna take your left hand and start to walk it over so that your left fingertips are reaching towards the right side of the room. So make this little X with your hands. It's called the whale's tail, right? And then from there, you can let your chin rest on your forearms, or you can let your head go all the way into your arms, whatever's comfortable here. Maybe you need to keep looking up a little bit, but let yourself relax down. Maybe you need to turn your head to one side or the other, and all things are open. You're gonna feel the stretch. Now, when we do this pose, right, you're gonna have a tighter shoulder and a looser shoulder. So I think, like I said, when they say by the book, I think it's the arm that's underneath you that you're supposed to feel it in more. But if your left shoulder is tighter, you're gonna be feeling it more in your left arm right now, right? And you might still be feeling it in your left arm when we switch to the other side. Generally, for about half the people, whichever shoulder is the tighter shoulder, you're gonna feel it more both times when we do this, right? So you're not weird if that's what's happening to you. Maybe you're feeling it more in your right shoulder right now, which would also be normal, right? Pay attention when we switch. Do you still feel it more in your right shoulder, or did it switch to the left? Just take 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, lift your chin and just start to sweep that top hand, the left one, back over. Unthread the right arm, reach it forward, right? And then we're gonna press into both palms. So you're lifting your chest a little bit. We're gonna switch sides. So you're gonna bend into your left elbow, right? Bring your left fingertips, point them towards the right side of the room, and then slide that left arm underneath the right as much as you can. Once you're there, you're gonna walk that right hand across. So now your right fingertips are reaching towards the left side of the room. And you're just letting yourself settle in here. For me, still definitely feeling it more on my left shoulder. It might be different for you. No right or wrong here, like I was talking about before, but something you can notice about your body. You should know after we do this pose on both sides which your tighter shoulder is. About 5, 6 more breaths here. All right, now when you're ready here, start to walk that right arm back towards the front of the room. And then when you can, slide that left arm underneath it. Right, now from here, first let your forehead come down to the mat. I'm not going to because I don't want to talk into the floor, but that's what you're gonna do right now. And then slide your elbows back, right? So you're bringing your elbows right underneath your shoulders, then let your chest lift, right? So you're in this little Sphinx pose. It looks like this. So you start to feel this in your low back now. Been on the belly for a while. Now we're really starting to open it up. Now, if this feels like too much for you and you don't think you'll be able to stay here, right? A little too intense. Move your elbows a little further forward, let more of your belly come to the mat so your shoulders a little bit behind your elbows. Right? That'll take some of the pressure off. If you need to take it to seal pose, that's an option here. That's when you pressure palms into the mat and straighten out your arms and lift up like this, right? I don't need seal. It's a little too much for me. So I'm usually fine here in Sphinx, but some of you are going to need that seal before you feel anything, right? So listen to your body. Take the version of this pose that you need. You definitely want to be feeling some sensation, right? But not so much that you can't hang out, but enough that it's a little bit uncomfortable. From here, right, you're gonna let yourself come back down, but you're gonna slide your elbows now out to the sides, right? So we're coming into cactus arms. Now your elbows are going straight out of your shoulder blades. I probably should come a little bit sideways here so people can see me, right? So you're still laying on your belly, but you've got these little cactus arms, right? Take your head down to the mat right now. So your fingertips are pointed towards the front of the room. Your elbows are coming straight out of your shoulder blades. Now, you're going to turn your head, look towards your right shoulder. So take your left ear to the mat, but looking to the right. Now we're going to do this half frog. We did this, I think, Sunday, one weekend day. We did this stretch. It's a good one, though. So we're going to do it again. We get a chance to stay a little bit longer here in Yin. Right, so I want you to bend into your right knee. Now, nothing's lifting up off the mat, right? You're just bending into the right knee. You're going to slide your right knee up as much as you can towards your right elbow. Your right foot is just resting on the mat, right? You're looking towards your right arm. The more you push that knee up towards your elbow, maybe it even touches, right? The more you're going to feel it in your hip flexor. And you're just hanging out right here. Now maybe you want to try turning your head the other way. So you're looking towards your left shoulder, makes it a little more intense. If that feels good to you, you can do it. Feels like too much, and just stay right here looking towards your right shoulder. All right, when you're ready here, let that right knee slide all the way down. So keep your hands where they are. You stay right where you are on your mat. Just kick your left leg long again. I'm going to flip around so everybody can still see me, but you guys stay where you are. We're going to do that on the other side. So this time, it's your left leg that's going to move. So you're still in those cactus arms. You can flip your head now so that you're looking towards your left arm, and then you're going to slide that left knee over. Right, nothing comes up off the mat. It just slides forward. Slide that left knee towards your left elbow. more breaths here. Slide that left knee all the way back down. Turn your head towards the front again. Right, let your chin rest on the mat and reach your arms straight out in front of you. One more time. All right, I'm gonna flip around again. You guys stay where you are. Now, what you're gonna do from here, right? Here, keep reaching your left hand forward. Take your right hand, bring it by your chest. And then you're just gonna push yourself over. Now my left hand is reaching forward here. So I'm just gonna roll, push myself over onto my left hip and let my left ear rest on my left shoulder, right? So I push myself onto my side with my chest facing towards the right side of the room. All right, now you're gonna bend into your right knee. Bring your right heel towards your right glute, right? You don't have to lift it up. I just lifted mine up so I can see it, right? But you can keep your knee down on your knee, but you're bringing that heel towards the glute. And then see if you can take your right hand, grab a hold of your right ankle. See, I have to lift my right knee way up to grab a hold. That's okay, right? But once I've made that connection, now I can let it relax back down. Everything's back down. Now, if you can't grab on to your ankle, it's okay, right? Just kick back, let your hand just reach back there, let it rest along your right thigh. So maybe you look like this, right? If you can grab that ankle, then you look like this. Either way, you're in that opening in the right quad. Now, I should say, right? This is not meant to be core work. If you want to, you can kick your left foot forward a little bit, give you a little more stability here, right? Or you can bend into that left knee. You don't have to balance perfectly on that left hip. Whatever feels good. All right? Maybe you take that right shoulder and you open it up a little bit. Kind of angle your gaze up to the sky so your chest starts to spiral open towards the ceiling as you hold on to that right ankle, or just reach back towards your right thigh. Take 3 more breaths here. And then just gently release that right leg, right? Bring your right hand back around so it's in front of your chest. Use it, right? So that you can just slowly roll yourself back onto the belly. So again, I'm gonna flip around, but you guys stay where you are. Right? Reach both hands in front of you, and then just take your left hand now to your left chest, and then push yourself over onto your right hip. Right? Let your shoulder, let your left ear, no, your right ear, rest on your right shoulder. Which side are we on? All right. And then you're gonna bend into that left knee. Bring your left heel towards your left glute. Take your left hand, reach around if you can. Grab a hold of that left ankle. Right? If not, then maybe you're just here, pushing that heel back, letting your hand rest. If you want to move around with your right foot, a little bit in front of you. That gives you some stability. Or maybe you bend into the right knee. Right? Or you just let that right knee stay right underneath the left knee. So again, your other option here, think about the left shoulder. Maybe you want to peel it open a little bit more. Angle your chin, your gaze up towards the ceiling. Let your chest spiral towards the ceiling. Maybe you just want to keep your chest facing towards the side. Up to you. Three more breaths here. And you're going to release that left foot. Right. Take your left hand back. Now, you've got options here. We're gonna end up on our back. If you just wanna push yourself over onto your back, that's fine. Don't let it face in the back of the room, right? It doesn't matter to me. If you'd rather come all the way around so you're facing the front of the room again, you can do that, right? But you're laying on your back, whether you're facing the front or you're facing the back, right? We're gonna come into a reclining bound ankle here, right? So once you're laying down on your back, you're gonna bend your knees so your knees are up to the sky and your feet are on the ground. And then you're gonna bring the soles of your feet together and let both knees fall out to the side. Now, you can do whatever you want with your hands. They can be on your belly. You take them to your knees or your inner thighs, push your legs a little bit more open. Maybe they're out to the sides in that T position. Maybe they're reaching up overhead and you're opening up that chest a little bit more. Maybe they're just resting on your belly, right? All good options. Find what feels the best to you. That's what you're gonna do with your hands. If you need a little more sensation in your legs, you can get there by pulling those heels in closer to your body. Right? That opens up your legs even more. If you want to back it off a little bit because you're nowhere near the end and you want to start feeling less sensation, you can push those heels a little bit further away, make more of a diamond shape, and it'll feel good. Let's take a minute here, wherever you end up. Take about 5 more breaths. And then from here, you're going to bring your knees back together. Pull your knees into your chest. Just hug them in really tight for a breath or two. And one last time, let's let our arms go out long. I don't care if you're facing the back of the room or you're facing the front of the room. Drop your knees over to the right. Take your chin and your gaze to the left. And just do a quick little supine twist here. Just wring everything out one last time. Just seal off our practice. Just take about 4 breaths here. Keep your left shoulder anchored. Whatever else you want to do, it's fine. And then pull your knees back up to center and drop them to the left. And then pull your knees back up to center. One last time. Take a nice deep hug into your chest. And then let everything extend long. Okay. Take your legs long, take your hands to your sides. That's your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. You don't have to stay there if it's not comfortable to you. I'm going to come around. Those of you in the studio, if you want me to, I can spray your towel. Panic button spray tonight. Rose oil, neroli oil, a couple different kinds of citrus, and some lavender. If you don't want that, that's okay. wherever you ended up, right? It doesn't have to be flat on your back. Maybe you took another position because that's what's comfortable. Get to that place. You're going to be able to stay still where you are perfectly comfortable and where your minds can be able to go perfectly quiet. You don't have to control your breath here, right? But you need to keep that focus on it, on your breath, just like we talked about at the beginning of class. Let your breath take over. Keep noticing it, keep observing it, keep cataloging it, build that database of your breath in your mind. Let your breath begin to guide you. As you do that, your breath can take you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. That's your true quiet of the mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling the increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead, do a nice full, deep body stretch. And then from there, just roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there, just to reacclimate to our space, let the sights, the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. And then when you're ready, only when you're ready. And push yourself up to seated and real close here. Right now you probably want to turn around back towards the front of the room. Right? Look at me, you don't have to. But let's close with our two Mari breaths into an Om. So we're going to inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat, and the Om is the universal syllable using all parts of the throat. Join me in these breaths or just listen if you want. But let's close our eyes. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this evening. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right. So I'll see you all on Saturday morning. It'll be Halloween, but that's okay, right? Maybe you can dress a little festively or whatever, but we'll do some slow flow then. Otherwise, Kelly will be here tomorrow morning to do some dancing with you guys, and I'll see you Saturday, all right? Hope you have a great rest of your week.